We're starting the newspaper reviews from The Nation. Major headline: why Dangote refinery petrol is yet to hit the market. Agreement on pricing template between firm, government yet to be reached. How social media is feeling banditry by army. Emefiele, court fixes Thursday to hear applications on forfeited assets. BOI raises 1.43 billion euros in global loan syndication. More stakeholders reject LP caretaker committee. Lagos Chinese firm signed pact on 68-kilometer green rail line. Government rolls out sale of 30,000 metric tons of rice for 40,000 naira. Prosecution of Britain, orders for treason in order, says US mayor, ex-British envoy. What stories do we have in The Nation?
Okay, so I have the story of the government rolling out the sale of 30,000 metric tons of rice. They said to cushion the effects of rising food prices, the federal government yesterday kicked off the sale of 30,000 metric tons of milled rice at a subsidized rate of 40,000 per 50 kg bag. They said the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Senator Abubakar Kyari, hailed the president's commitment to ensuring that no Nigerian goes to bed hungry. He said this food intervention is timely given the current economic challenges facing the country. He said to ensure fairness and transparency, government has put in place several checks, including the one-man, 150 kg bag policy and verification procedures through the National Identification Number, that is the NIN, and phone numbers. He said the measures are designed to prevent multiple purchases and ensure that the rice reaches the intended beneficiaries. Well, we're not only eating rice. I don't know why it's only rice that they have just...
It's like a major staple. Every house must have rice.
So bad that we're moving
easier.
the culture of rice.
Rice is not
historically our food.
Yes.
I would have wished we do that for gari
And corn.
and corn, which goes
Yams.
You can either eat corn as ogi or eat corn in many other ways.
Walker, corn pudding.
Yes. But even the 50 kg of rice is even too much, as in, it will really go around, because there are so many people who cannot afford the 40 kg. So how are they should bring it down to maybe, say, 5 kg, so that it will really go, so that everybody will be able to get as well.
So let me take the story from BOI. So the Bank of Industry has successfully raised 1.43 billion euro, which is a significant move. It is aimed at expanding this development, the financial institution, to be able to provide funding to more people. Yesterday, they indicated that they've recorded this is a 142.5% increase, according to what they've gotten. And the expectation is that it will enable BOI to reach out to more people. In July 2022, they raised 1 billion in terms of loan from this same Euro platform. And the managing director, Dr. Olasupo Olusi, said that the oversubscription represents a mark of confidence in the bank and in the Nigerian economy by foreign investors. Now, because I run business and I know that BOI truly supports, especially for manufacturing equipment, BOI loan is the best platform for business owners to get equipment and not have to pay a whole lot of interest from it. So people should take advantage of this BOI loan. Go and reach out to them.
Yeah. So I have a story here. The Nigerian army has decried the increasing influence the social media is giving banditry in the country. It said social media platforms provide the oxygen for criminals like bandits to breathe and increase their attacks. The Army Chief of Civil Military Affairs, Major General Nosakire Ugbo, spoke during the Nigerian Army social media seminar, which was tagged Harnessing the Social Media for National Security and Development. This happened in Katsina yesterday. And he said that the seminar was meant to promote interactions between the social media platforms and the Army. He stressed that the Nigerian Army needed the cooperation of social media platforms to be on the same media page with the people. He went ahead to say, and I quote, "The general idea is to dominate the social media space, to ensure they unite and engage freely with the Army. This is because it's critical battle for arts and the mind to get together to fight banditry. The social media operators must, in their words, action or inactions, resonate at far and near and shape our national security rather than potentially undermine our collective resolve for a united, peaceful nation." So they are talking about how they can strengthen the bond between the army, the community, and social media. I'm wondering how the army is going to handle this. Do they have social media departments in the army, for instance? How are they going to be up to date on what's happening? Because, you know, social media goes like this. The news, it keeps moving just like that. They also said 5 persons comprising 2 soldiers and 3 civilians were injured. And 3 bandits abducted when bandits attacked Magama Jibia border town in Jibia local government area of Katsina State Wednesday night. I said a member of the Jibia Security Committee spoke in confidence and told the nation that they had a telephone chat that the bandits overpowered the security personnel who were deployed to repel them. Yeah, that's a painful one. So let's move on now to the Punch. Major headline: NNPC ties Dangote petrol price to forex rate. NNPC begins lifting Dangote refinery petrol September 15. Vessels begin offloading, queues worsen. 63 TCN towers destroyed in 8 months, according to the federal government. Massive flooding to hit 7 states soon, says government. ICPC grills Ngige over NSITF contracts. Terrorism financing, police to quiz Ajaero September 25th. PSP officials condemn members' arrest over land dispute. Reps back ban on under 18 SSCE UTME candidates. Which stories do we have in the Punch?
I have the 63 power transmission towers destroyed in 8 months, and this one says that a total of 63 power transmission towers were being destroyed by vandals between January and August this year, and the latest industry data from the Federal Ministry of Power has revealed most of the towers were destroyed in the northern part of the country. A few others were vandalized in the southern and the eastern regions respectively. And the activities of the vandals led to the complete collapse of 17 of the towers, while the components such as conductors, underground cables, braces, etc. of the remaining towers were carted away by the miscreants. And the regions affected, some of the towers affected was around, we have towers in Jos Bichi single circuit transmission line along Bauchi, Yelwa, and Gwalameji was collapsed by vandals. The towers in Gombe, Damaturu transmission area. We also have around Damaturu, Maiduguri transmission line. That's in Bauchi, Molai. And we have the Bauchi-Gombe line located in Bauchi town. 4 towers, including tower 450, 452, 453, and 455 were vandalized, and some members of the towers were removed. And this also is reporting that the government is reporting that tower 70 on 330 kV Gwagwalada Kantape transmission line in Abuja was also vandalized. And we have in Port Harcourt, we also have around Bauchi, Ogbogene, that's around Port Harcourt. These were the listed areas where the vandalism took place. And of course, like the minister was also saying, that this is part of the reasons we always have shortage of supply to some areas, because vandals keep pushing and vandalizing government properties.
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a breather here. When we come back, the newspaper reviews continue. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're still doing the newspaper reviews, and we have the Punch. So let me take the major headline. They said Nigerians are eagerly waiting for the release of premium motor spirits, popularly known as Petrol, from the 20 billion Dangote Petroleum refinery. And the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited says it will lift the product from the plant September 15th. But they also went ahead to outline factors that will determine the price. They said the foreign exchange rates and market forces will influence the cost of petrol, stressing that the market has been deregulated. Oil marketers also declared on Thursday that about 2,000 tankers were still awaiting to load the product at various depots of the National Oil Company in Lagos, Warri, and Port Harcourt. Also, the federal government declared that there was going to be a massive supply of petrol at the weekend as vessels had started offloading, but they ruled out the PMS price fixing. So the operator stated that the government might have put an end to petrol subsidy, going by their latest position, which is very obvious. We know subsidy don't come out. NNPC said foreign exchange liquidity had been a significant factor influencing the fluctuation in prices of petrol, which are governed by unrestricted free market forces as provided for in the Petroleum Industry Act. So before I speak plenty English, the bottom line is the fact that the market has been deregulated. If you check out the different filling stations, they're all selling at different prices. Some 900, some 1,000 something, some, you know, and just different prices, which we are hoping that it will balance out later when there's now competition. So people will buy from petrol stations that sell cheaper, and then they're able to place their prices how they do their businesses without a form of regulation. That's what we've been praying for. But we're hoping September 15th that Dangote will start releasing fuel to our people so that we have abundance of it, and maybe the queues will
hope it
like
can
reduce
Entire
at the
Nigeria is
time.
praying for Dangote
I'm
right now.
telling
What's
you,
a
his
fantastic
business
place
must
to be.
succeed.
Some people are on the mountain as we speak.
Exactly.
His
I
business
just
must
pray that he
succeed.
will bring a good price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay, so I have the reps ban on under 18 SSCE candidates. As we earlier on know that they said the Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, in July stated that the effect that any candidate below the age of 18 will not be allowed to sit for the SSCE. And this announcement generated heated debate among parents and education stakeholders. So they had a meeting on September 4th. That is the Minister of Education and also the Minister of State for Education, Dr. Tanku Sununu, as well as heads of basic education examination bodies. And the minister explained that the policy that relates to the 18 years age requirement for entry into the university is a policy that was developed before the adoption of the 6334 system. He also explained that the policy also has a root in the Universal Basic Education Act. He said the policy is meant to ensure that children pursue their education alongside their cognitive, physical development and maturity. The Ministry of Education should develop a framework for proper transition into a full policy framework. He also said that the Ministry of Education must ensure that students who are already progressing in the senior classes in secondary schools are not left stranded after completion of their level of education, and mandated the minister and his team to work out ways of handling the policy based on data available to the ministry and ensure that the policy does not jeopardize public interest. I've been having this question at home. My daughter has been asking me that she's going to write SSC.
How old is she?
She's 16.
Okay.
So obviously, and she's going to SS3.
Oh, wow.
So she's not going to write until she's 18.
Have they implemented this already?
Industry
and they have not
Falsifying their ages.
Yes.
That's
So that's what's going to start happening.
No,
But I have a story.
Yes, I want to quickly take the PSP officials who have condemned their arrest over a land dispute. So the PSP are members of the Lagos State Waste Management Agency, and they have accused the police officers at Area M Idimu for unlawfully arresting and detaining 3 of their members on Thursday over a long-standing land issue. They said this land was officially allocated to them by the Lagos State government, but some land grabbers sold the lands to someone else, and they built an hotel, a full hotel on the land.
Wow.
And they've been in court trying to lay claim on that land. That is where they usually park the PSP trucks, and now because the hotel has been built there, they've been forced to be parking their trucks on the road. Oh. And the community people have complained that the trucks being on the road is not convenient for them. It is causing difficulty for their movement. And because of that, they now arrested, they complained. The PRO of Lagos State Police Command, Udeyin, said that, Benjamin Udeyin said that the reason they arrested those people is not because of the land dispute. They arrested them based on the complaints they got concerning the fact that they were parking on the road. Yes. And that was why they arrested them. And it's not about land grabbing. It's a local government area, wrote to the police complaining of how they were obstructing traffic. And the operators have approached, and that the operators remain adamant. So the operators are saying, this is our land, we're parking in front of our land. Local government area are saying that
parking on the road.
Parking on the road. In between all of that, 3 people are being detained by the police. And these are not the owners of the vehicle. These are staff. So they end up being the one getting the punishment for
the supposed owners.
Yeah.
It's well. Let's move on now to the Daily Sun. Major headline. Northern elders warn against deal with bandits. Leader Turji insists suspect must face the law. Caution Tinubu against reconciling with him as national security is at stake. Ndume rallies military to clear Boko Haram terrorists from Sambisa forest. Clark writes IGP demands Wike's arrest over threat to PDP governors. Presidential system of government breeds dictatorship, says Agabi, ex-EGF. Federal government agreed not to increase petrol price. NLC insists. Tinubu didn't betray or deceive anyone on fuel price. TDF. Treason trial of Britain orders in order, said ex-British envoy US mayor. Why INEC will continue to encounter challenges in conducting election. This is according to Yakubu. Rivers local government polls. Court reserves judgment in APC suit against INEC and others. 2,776 killed, 16,309 injured in road crashes in 7 months. FRSC launches app to reduce accidents. 885 naira litre petrol price unrealistic, says NNPCL, to supply Dangote 17.8 million barrels of oil in 2 tranches. NDLEA denies allegations of lopsided appointments, nepotism. What stories do we have in the Sun?
I have the story of the FIRS, and it says FRSC rather, 2,776 killed, 16,309 injured in 7 months as FRSC launches app to reduce road crashes. And this is saying that no fewer than 2,776 Nigerians have been killed, 16,309 injured between January and July as a result of road crashes this year, 2024. Also, in 2023, 5,081 people lost their lives and 31,874 were left injured. This was disclosed by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, at the launch of the mobile app known as National Crash Reporting Information System, NACRIS portal, yesterday in Abuja. Akume explained that the NACRIS portal would afford road users the opportunity to report road crashes and other road-related issues across the country. He also said that the launch is a testimony to the FRSC core marshal commitment to fulfilling his promise and implementing policies aimed at creating a safer motoring environment. And they are also insinuating that the app will help motorists to also know the launch of the FRSC Motor app and NACRIS is therefore a deliberate effort by the core to align with President Tinubu's renewed hope agenda aimed at digital transformation, ease of doing business, and economic growth for the nation at large. And this is a very laudable project, because most times I think that Nigeria should have advanced way beyond where we are trying to crawl or where we are staggering. We see other countries that we travel to, we like the way they structured their policies, but we can also effect it. But I also hope that this app will not be sabotaged somehow, and it will work effectively when Nigerians really want to make complaints or suggestions.
Let me quickly take the story from the NDLEA. This is a story I'm very interested in. On social media, people came out and it went viral about the fact that the new appointments of directors, commanders, and top officials within NDLEA was skewed to northern Muslims against southern Christians. Then the director of media and advocacy, Femi Babafemi, did a breakdown of each portfolio. Out of the 20 directors/commandants in NDLEA, 14 are Christians, 6 are Muslim. Out of the 14 zonal commanders, 9 are Christian, 5 are Muslims. Out of 37 state commanders, 19 are Christians, 18 are Muslim. Out of the 14 special area commander, 10 Christians, 4 Muslims. Out of 12 coordinators and head of units, 9 Christians, 3 Muslims. Out of 11 head of operations, 7 Christian, 4 Muslims. Of all of the 108 top appointments and positions in the agency, 68 of them are occupied by Christians, 40 of them by Muslims, which represents 63% going to Christians and 43 to Muslims. That the idea that went viral was a creation of mischief makers without any facts. And it went viral. And that's why it took time. Usually, I don't even feel like reading all this breakdown of numbers.
No, but it's important.
Because most of the time, what you see on social media, they will retweet it.
Yes.
They've retweeted it. There are more northern Muslims and Christians in all appointments being made by government without any facts to back it down. So I am applauding the NDLEA media person for doing a breakdown so that it's not even about Christian or Muslim. It's just that don't spread what is not facts. Yeah. Don't spread baseless lies.
Now, wow, let's move on quickly
to the end. When you read the sources, first paragraph, second, they've concluded.
This will likely be the last paper for today. Time has gone. Major headline reps, NBA PDP orders demand petrol price hike reversal. FOCAC, Africa-China trade partnership hits $280 million US. Insecurity, farmers' headers clash, depress agri sector, GDP. Army arrests student over kidnapped mother of FUNAP students. Uncertainty surrounds petrol supply from Dangote refinery amid ongoing scarcity. And then Super Eagles will prove self against Benin, Rwanda, Awoni assures. What stories do we have in the Vanguard? Do we have stories here? So I have one inside the paper. Delta State Police Command yesterday said it has rescued 2 kidnapped victims at their abductors' hideout in a forest at Umunede community, Ika North-East local government area of the state. The State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Olufemi, was the one who disclosed this at a press briefing at the State Command headquarters, Asaba. He said the 2 persons were abducted along the Asaba-Bini Expressway. And this happened 31st of August 2024. And he said they had to act on credible information relating to the kidnapping incident of the 2 persons that was kidnapped on the 30th of August along that same Asaba-Bini Expressway. And he says, I directed the Special Anti-Kidnapping cybercrime squad to ensure that the victims are rescued and the suspects arrested. There were also other, kidnapping accidents or incidents that happened in that same area, and the police is doing everything in its power to see how they can get those people released. Do we have stories in the Tribune?
No, well, my story is in actually the
Vanguard. Okay, go ahead.
It's about the challenge of insecurity affecting the agri sector. So the second quarter reports came out, and the agri sector growth and contribution to the economy took a downward turn, and they are attaching the reason for the downward contribution of agri to the GDP, because actually people don't know that agri is the second contributor to our GDP as a nation, and so they said it's due to farmer-header clashes, insecurity, and it is shrinking the growth rates. It has declined to 1.41 as opposed to what we had last year. Of course, we know the government will say they are doing a whole lot concerning it, but we are all feeling the impact of the challenges.
We need to see more results. Do we have another story in the Vanguard?
Well, it's time I
We're good, yes.
We're good.